Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Podchaser, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Stitcher at Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 94, available now. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? So, I just saw Clerks 3. It is the, obviously, third movie in the Clerks trilogy, but it's the 8th, possibly 9th, depending on your outlook, movie in the View-esque universe. It stars Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Rosario Dawson, Trevor Furman, Austin Zahur, hope I said buddy's name right, Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith, and it is also directed by Kevin Smith, who also directed everything you see behind me, as well, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, if y'all want to get technical, because I know somebody's going to be like, I see the Lego Movie, I see Turning Red. So those, as well as Cop Out, Jersey Girl, Red State, Tusk, Yoga Hosers. Isn't it supposed to be like a third Yoga Hosers Tusk movie? Randall has a near-death experience, and a conversation between him and Dante leads to them trying to make a movie. First of all, I never thought in a million years my theater would get this. Like, they get like one Fathom events a year, and this is the one that we got. 2, I just never expected to like this movie as much as I did. I think every View-esque movie is good. This is one of the best in the whole universe. That's the only way to say it. Depending on your flavor, Zack and Miri Mega Porno might be included because Brandon St. Randy fucking movies was in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. So that could make Zack and Miri a distant cousin of this universe. It doesn't feel anything like, it feels like, I love Zack and Miri Mega Porno though. Let's get that out of the way. It feels like Kevin Smith making his attempt at a Judd Apatow meets Kevin Smith blend of a movie, and it doesn't really feel View-esque. Clerks 3 might be the most well-made movie Kevin Smith has ever done. It has his humor. It has the raunchy humor. It has everything that every movie in this universe has. But it has depth and emotion and heart and a couple very good performances. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot was like that meta attempt at like a peek behind the curtain of Hollywood. Just like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was. Like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was very ahead of its time. But Clerks 3 is like a prequel to Clerks while being the closing chapter of a trilogy. It's like, I don't know, if you haven't seen a trailer, if you don't like know the gist of the movie, I don't want to say too much, but it feels like the making of the original, but it's still the third movie of this story. And it's like, you got the Dante and you got the Randall, you got their back and forth. It feels like Randall is just bagging on him like 3 straight movies, like they're friends, but at, the expense of one of them, who, like, the adult in the room. Dante was always the adult in the room, and he had like dreams and goals, and obstacles get in the way. Randall has this life-changing event, and everything, like, the focus gets put on that. And then there's a scene toward the end where, like, if Brian O'Halloran was that Ben Affleck, Leo, Brad Pitt, that echelon of actor, he has his Oscar moment that, like, I feel like he would have been in talks for nominations, but it's like he's the Kevin Smith guy, so he's just like, dude, I don't know. There's one scene from him that like really impressed me. The first 15 minutes like hooked me emotionally, and then you get the jokes and you get the laughs and humor. I laughed quite a bit, and see, like, that's why, like, upon rewatch, I liked Jay and Silent Bob Reboot more. Initially watching it when the Blu-ray first came out, I didn't think it was that funny. Clerks 3 upon this viewing is very funny. The only thing, like, I would give this half a star more in my rating, except the Trevor Furman character was incredibly lame. It was dumb. The whole side plot was dumb. I kind of hated it. It just, he was in Clerks 2. That's not who that character was. He was young and naive and goofy, but it's like the boundary is pushed in this one, and that was the only element of this movie that I did not think worked. I thought Jay and Silent Bob were funny. It took it back. Like, I think Clerks 2 might have overdone the Jay and Silent Bob. Like, people love Clerks 2. I think it's one of the weaker entries in this universe. But it's like, again, I don't think there's any bad movie in of these 8. I liked the writing. I liked the story. There are countless cameos in this movie. You kind of get a feel for where it looks like it's going, and it was like one thing that happened that confirmed, like, oh yeah, this is where they're going. Like, I don't hate it, but it's like I'm like kind of feeling the way the characters were feeling. Clerks 3 is the perfect cherry on top of this universe. We don't need Twilight of the Mallrats. Kevin Smith, like, do something original. Like, direct CW comic book shows. Direct, whatever you want, man. But, like, no more View-esque universe. We don't need Chasing Amy 2. We don't need Jay and Silent Bob 3. We don't need Dogma 2. We don't need Twilight of the Mallrats. Make like Moose Knuckle or whatever Yoga Hosers 3 was gonna be, man. But it's like, you get Kevin, like, this whole universe, honestly, you get Kevin Smith's passion for the cinema, for movies, for the art, for comics, conventions, for just nerd culture in general, man. So with all that being said, I will say that, in my opinion, Clerks 3 was dope. I really had a great time watching Clerks 3. Have you seen Clerks 3? What you think about it, man? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. My last review was a month ago. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's on the channel. Upcoming, I'm gonna try to see Pearl this weekend. The X prequel. Next weekend, Don't Worry Darling comes out. Blonde is out on Netflix, but I haven't been reviewing Netflix movies. And then Bros closes out September, closes out the third quarter. So that means a third quarter preview. A third quarter top 3 is also coming down the pipeline, man. So like, subscribe, comment, find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.